The author says, yani, we are continuing now in the sins of the hands under the sin of killing, where the sheikh has a big digression, which is actually the insertion of an entire fiqh chapter, which is the rules about blood money and assaults. So we are continuing from here, where he says, may Allah have mercy on him. وَأَمَّا الْجِرَاحَاتُ فِي غَيْرِ الرَّأْسِ وَالْوَجْهِ. As for the wounds in other than the head and face, فَضَرْبَان, there's two kinds of them. جَائِفَةٌ وَغَيْرُ جَائِفَةٌ, a stab and other than a stab. فَأَمَّا غَيْرُ الْجَائِفَةِ. Now as for other than a stab, وَهِيَ الْمُوضِحَةُ وَالْهَاشِمَةُ وَالْمُنَقِّلَةُ, which would be a bone exposer or a bone snapper or a bone shifter. And that answers a previous question. Bone shifter is not specifically jawbreaker, because now we're talking about outside of the head and face. So there's munaqqila on the head and face, bone shifter, and munaqqila somewhere else, outside the head and face. So then that's not going to be a jawbreaker. So the bone shifter. As for other than a stab, that is the bone exposer, the bone snapper, and the bone shifter, وَمَا دُونَ الْمُوضِحَةِ, and what is less than a bone exposer. What's less than a bone exposer? Like a scratch, a cut, and some other wounds. مِنَ الْجِرَاحَاتِ فَلَا يَجِبُ فِيهَا عرش مقدر وإنما تجب فيه حكومة. In these cases, the estimated arsh is not obligatory. And I need to review how to translate that and explain that. Rather, what is obligatory is the hukuma, which is what's obligatory in this case, or these cases, is to estimate this mutilated person. Had he been a slave, how much would he have been worth before his mutilation? And how much is he worth now after the mutilation? One would have to pay this for these wounds that are not stabs and they are not to the head or face. So you see there, this is a chapter here, chapter of knowledge. You're going to put it together so you can understand it well. So now we see there's names for these wounds, and we see that there's two segments of the body here. The head and face, the face is really part of the head. The head and face is one segment, and the rest of the body is another segment. And there are wounds. They have names. The bone exposer, the bone shifter, the bone snapper, the scratch, the cut, the gash, and other things. And they have judgments. These different wounds have judgments. And sometimes you can match the wound and inflict a similar one on the assailant, and sometimes you can't. So now you have a better picture of this fiqh chapter here. This is a fiqh chapter here. Now, you know, it's reminding me of the chapter of Hajj. How so? Because Hajj has the obligations, it has the arkan, it has the wajibs, and has the sunan, has the muharramat, and has so many pieces you can put them together. It's like a puzzle you can put together, and then you come with the full picture. This one too, putting all the pieces together. So take advantage, mashallah, now that you have any person who has now heard this knowledge here, let him document that for himself and study it so that he would know it. وأما الجائفة, and as for the stab, فهي الجراحة التي تصل إلى الجوف. That's the wound that reaches the inside. من البطن, inside the stomach. أو الصدر, or inside the chest. أو ثغرة النحر, or what's that? Right over your collarbone in the middle. So I don't know what that's called. أو الورك, or the butt cheek. فيجب فيها ثلث الدية. Now, if I say butt, B-U-T-T, that's informal though. If I say buttock, then it's more formal. Or buttock cheek. فيجب فيها ثلث الدية. Then for such a wound is the third of standard blood money. How much is the blood money? That's another piece of the chapter here. There's a blood money for free male, blood money for free female Muslim, blood money for slave, blood money for a kitabi, blood money for a majusi or a idol worshiper. وَأَمَّا الْأَعْضَاء, and as for the organs or perhaps limbs, فَيَجِبُ فِي الْعَيْنَيْنِ الدِّيَةِ. Let's say the organs. Then for 2 eyes is complete blood money. Complete blood money is due for 2 eyes. لما روي أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال. For what was narrated that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, وفي العينين الدية. The blood money is for 2 eyes. ويجب في إحداهما نصف الدية. And for 1 eye, half of the standard blood money is due. وإن جنى على عينيه أو رأسه فذهب ضوء بصره والحدقة باقية. And had the assailant assaulted his eyes or assaulted his head, he attacked him in the eyes or the head, and then here this term again appeared, then the ضوء بصره appeared, went away. Then the ضوء بصره went away. So the light of his eyes, the light of his eye, or the light of his vision. I really don't know the best way to translate that. And even to explain that, Yani, he didn't say here. And thereby he went blind. So what does this mean exactly? ذهب ضوء بصره. Allahu a'lam. I don't know. And if the assailant attacked the victim's eyes or his head, and as a result, the light of his eye or the light of his vision went away. وَالْحَدَقَةُ بَاقِيَةٌ, but the pupil is still present. وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ الدِّيَةُ, then the full standard blood money is due. وَإِنْ أَذْهَبَ الْبَصَرَ مِنْ إِحْدَى الْعَيْنَيْنِ. Now he said this word. And if he made the vision of one of the eyes go away, so he didn't say the light of the eye, he said the vision. If he made the vision of one of his eyes go away, and he caused blindness in one of his eyes, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ, then half of the blood money is due. كَمَا لَوْ أَشَلَّ إِحْدَى يَدَيْهِ, just like if he caused one of his arms to be paralyzed. Yadehi, I just translated that as arms. You know, yed can mean hand and yed can mean arm. So I just translated it here as arm. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَى عَيْنَيْهِ فَنَقَصَ ضَوْءُهُمَا, and if he attacked his eyes and decreased the light of those eyes. So, yeah, the light of his eyes. Here, ضَوْءُ بَصَرِهِ, the light of his eye. Navarta, then you look. You as the one who's going to give someone the correct answer. فَإِنْ عُرِفَ أَنَّهُ فإن عرف أنه نقص نصف ضوئهما بأن كان الشخص بأن كان الشخص sorry, got distracted there. فإن عرف أنه نقص نصف ضوئهما. Now, if it is known that, let me back up even more. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَى عَيْنَيْهِ, so if someone attacked his eyes, two eyes, فَنَقَصَ ضَوْءُهُمَا, and then the light of those eyes decreased. فَنَظَرْتَ, then you look. You as the one who's going to give someone the correct answer, or the one who wants to know the right answer. فَإِنْ عُرِفَ أَنَّهُ نَقَصَ نِصْفُ ضَوْئِهِمَا, if it is known that half of the light of these eyes has been lost. كأن كان يرى الشخص من مسافة فصار لا يراه إلا من نصفها. Such as that person used to be able to see to a certain distance. And now he can only see half of that. وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ, then obligatory on the assailant is half of the blood money. So then looks like the light of his eye means his vision. But still though, how so? I'm not sure. Still not sure. وَإِن لَّمْ يُعْرَفْ قَدْرُ النُّقْصَانِ, and if the amount of loss is not known. وَإِنَّمَا سَاءَ إِدْرَاكُهُ, and that merely what is confirmed is that now he has poorer realization. Yani, his sight has decreased. وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ حُكُومَةٌ, then paying the price difference would be obligatory. The hukuma that we just mentioned, I'll call it the price difference, which is to suppose he were a slave when he was healthy. How much would he have been worth now that he has been damaged? How much is he worth had he been a slave? This price difference is what the assailant would be obligated to pay. وَإِن نَقَصَ بَصَرُهُ فِي إِحْدَى الْعَيْنَيْنِ, and if his vision in one of his eyes decreases. So, yeah, this confirms for me the lack of certainty because Sheikh's using two different terms here. Sometimes saying his vision is decreased. Sometimes saying the light of his vision or the light of his eye. So I'm not sure how to explain that. The light part. وَإِن نَقَصَ بَصَرُهُ فِي إِحْدَى الْعَيْنَيْنِ. And if his vision is decreased in one of his two eyes, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ دِيَةِ تِلْكَ الْعَيْنِ. Then what would be obligatory on the assailant is the blood money for that eye. بِقَدْرِ مَا نَقَصَ مِنْ ضَوْئِهَا. By the amount of how much light the eye lost. So, subhanallah. It's a little bit more clear, but still. We'll have someone, inshallah, explain for us these words very clearly. Bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. Who has the opportunity to ask a strong, accurate teacher to explain these words here? ضوء البصر. يعني, let's see. He says, وَيَجِبُ فِي إِحْدَاهُمَا نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ وإن جنى على عينيه أو رأسه فذهب ضوء بصره والحدقة باقية وجبت عليه الدية وإن أذهب البصر. So what's the difference between the basar and ضوء البصر? That's the question here. What's the difference between al-basar and ضوء البصر? If I understood, the basar is the vision, like we understand, is the vision. And the ضوء البصر is the measure of his vision. Wallahu a'lam. So we'll ask, inshallah. وإن قطع أجفان عيني رجل الأربعة. And if someone cut off someone's four eyelids, so he's a mutilator, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ دِيَةٌ. Then full blood money is due. وَبِهِ قَالَ أَبُو حَنِيفَةَ. That's what Abu Hanifa said. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Wal-'iyadhu billahi ta'ala. That's some kafir horror movie stuff. وَإِن قَطَعَ بَعْضَهَا وَجَبَ فِيهَا مِنَ الدِّيَةِ بِقِسْطِهِ. And if he cut some of the eyelids, some amount of, or portion of, or percentage of those four eyelids, so the four eyelids is one total, that's a total. If he cut some percentage of these four eyelids, then obligatory on him of blood money is what corresponds with that. Yani what that's worth. وَإِن قَطَعَ أَهْدَابَ الْعَيْنَيْنِ وَلَمْ تَعُدْ فَعَلَيْهِ حُكُومَةٌ. And if someone cut off the other person's eyelashes, cut off his eyelashes, so it says قَطَعَ. So he didn't per se say he pulled them out. He said he cut them. Here's a footnote. الهدب الشعر الذي في طرف الجفن. Yes, so the eyelash. It's just defining the eyelash. The hair that's at the edge of the eyelid. So the way this translates is if he cuts the eyelashes of the two eyes and they don't come back, then it's obligatory on him to pay the price difference. وَتَجِبُ فِي الْأُذُنَيْنِ الدِّيَةِ. And for two ears is full blood money. وَفِي إِحْدَاهُمَا نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ. and for one of them is half of the blood money. وبه قال أبو حنيفة وأحمد رحمهما الله تعالى. And that's the position taken by Abu Hanifa and Ahmed rahimahumullah ta'ala. Now, what I do find interesting also about the Sheikh's presentation of the blood money here is his citing what some of the mujtahids said here. And that therefore makes me wonder, uh, is this right here exactly what the Shafi'is say? Is this the Shafi'i school here? Or this is the Sheikh is presenting what he sees as correct and also attaching to each case the name of someone who agrees that that's correct? And the fact that I have this question and don't know the answer, then that means that's an indication of my limitations into the Shafi'i school. Because maybe someone knows, they say, "No, brother, we've studied this. This is Shafi'i school. You didn't know?" So, but I'm just curious because you mentioning a madhab like it's just Shafi'i school, then there's not really a need to say, and that's what Abu Hanifa said, and that's what Ahmed said. It's beneficial though, and we like to know it. So maybe he's just mentioning. Allahu A'lam. وَإِنْ قَطَعَ بَعْضَ الْأُذُنِ. And if he severed a portion of the ear, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ دِيَتِهَا بِقَدْرِ مَا قَطَعَ مِنْهَا. Then the amount of whatever what he cut off is worth from the blood money is what is due on him. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَى أُذُنِهِ فَاسْتَحْشَفَتْ أي يبست تجب عليه الحكومة. He says, and if he assaulted his ear and then istahshafat. I don't know how to translate that. I'm going to look it up in one moment. Meaning, yabisat, meaning, so very literally, it dried. Yabisat, it went dry. It possibly means went numb. His ear is numb. And يعني, تجب عليه الحكومة. Then obligatory on the assailant is the price difference. Now I'm looking in Mukhtar al-Sahah. We're looking under letters Ha, Shin, Fa. Ha, Shin, Fa. Al-Hashaf, Arda ut-Tamr. The Hashaf is the worst quality of date. وفي المثل أحشفا وسوء كيلة. There's a proverb, I don't know how to explain that. And it doesn't say more here. But give me 1 second. I just want to look in Misbah real quick. Here's Al Misbah. Ha, Sheen, Fa. Ha, Sheen, Fa. Al Hashaf, Arda ut Tamr is the worst quality of date. وهو الذي يجف من غير نضج. That's the one that gets dry without ripening. ولا إدراك فلا يكون له لحم, and therefore it doesn't have any pulp, if pulp is the right word, the flesh of the date itself. He says, وأحشفت النخلة صارت ذا حشف واستحشفت الأذن يبست واستحشف الأنف يبس غضروفه فعدم الحركة الطبيعية والحشفة رأس الذكر. Okay. So it's not clear for me how to translate it. MashaAllah. Meant for me like he paralyzed his ear, but I don't know how to translate that. So we'll ask inshallah. وَيَجِبُ فِي السَّمْعِ الدِّيَةِ, and obligatory for hearing, meaning attacking a person and rendering him deaf. Ad-diyah, full blood money. لما روى معاذ رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, because of what Mu'adh narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, وَفِي السَّمْعِ دِيَةٌ, for hearing is blood money. رواه البيهقي, Al-Bayhaqi narrated that, فَإِنْ ذَهَبَ سَمْعُهُ مِنْ إِحْدَى الْأُذُنَيْنِ, if the victim lost the hearing of one ear, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ, then obligatory on the assailant is half of the blood money. So also what's part of this chapter? The wounds that dictate full blood money, as if you killed a person. وَتَجِبُ فِي الْأَنْفِ الدِّيَةِ, and also obligatory for a nose. Obligatory for a nose is full blood money. لما روى عمرو بن حزم رضي الله عنه, because of what Amr ibn Hazm narrated, may Allah accept from him, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, وفي الأنف إذا أوعي مارنه مئة من الإبل إذا أوعي مارنه مئة من الإبل. He says, and for the nose, إذا أوعي مارنه, I don't know how to translate that. When, for the nose, when أوعي مارنه, there's 100 camels. وَلِأَنَّهُ قَوْلُ عَلِيٍّ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ وَأَرْضَاهُ, and also because that's the saying of Ali. وَمَعْنَى قَوْلِهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ أُوعِيَ أي استوعب, ولأن المنفعة والجمال فيه وجبت فيه الدية. Okay, so let me look up Marian. I'm looking in Al-Misbah. Mim Ra Noon. Al-Marin. ما دون قصبة الأنف وهو ما لان منه. So, yeah. So the meaning is, وفي الأنف إذا أوعي مارنه مئة من الإبل. For a nose, when the entire soft part of it is removed, there is 100 camels. So according to Al-Misbah, the marin is the soft part of the nose under the bone. Because, and also this is the judgment because, yani, we were saying, here, I'm going to translate it the way it is. Obligatory for a nose is blood money. Why? He gives several reasons. One is because of what was narrated by Amr ibn Hazm, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, for a nose, when the entire soft part is severed, is 100 camels. وَلِأَنَّهُ, and two, because that's the saying of Ali radiallahu anhu. So I don't know really how to explain that. To say this is the judgment, also because that's what Ali said. The mujtahid doesn't take what he doesn't say something because another mujtahid said it. So I'm not sure what's behind that statement there. And then he gave a third reason here. وَلِأَنَّ الْمَنْفَعَةَ وَالْجَمَالَ فِيهِ. And also because, yani, there's a full blood money, for cutting off someone's nose completely, all of the soft part. Because that's where the benefit of the nose is, and that's where there is beauty in one. That's where the beauty is. Also, yani, there's portions of the body that contribute to the beauty. The nose and other parts, including the cheeks of the buttocks and some of these different things. So when a person is mutilated in such a way that he loses this, it decreases also his beauty, and this contributes to the fact that there's a blood money or the like. وَيَجِبُ فِي الشَّمِّ الدِّيَةِ, and obligatory for making someone lose his ability to smell is full blood money. لأنه حاسة تختص بمنفعة, because it is a sense with a special function. فأشبه السمع والبصر, so then it's just like hearing and sight. Yani, you're going to pay blood money for making someone lose his hearing and making someone lose his sight. Then also you need to pay blood money for making someone lose his ability to smell. وَإِنْ أَذْهَبَ الشَّمَّ مِنْ أَحَدِ الْمِنْخَرَيْنِ, and if he makes someone lose his ability to smell from one nostril, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ, then half of the blood money is due. So now if you didn't know, it's possible to smell through one nostril and out the other one. وَإِنْ قَطَعَ أَنْفًا أَخْشَمْ, أي ذهبت منه حاسة الشم, وجبت عليه الدية لعموم الخبر. Now, if someone severed a nose that cannot smell already, it's still going to be obligatory to pay entire blood money because of the broadness of the report about it. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَيْهِ فَذَهَبَ عَقْلُهُ, and if he assaulted someone and made him lose his mind, لَمْ يَجِبْ فِيهِ الْقِصَاص. Retaliation is not a confirmed right. وَتَجِبُ فِيهِ الدِّيَةِ, but full blood money is. فَإِنْ ذَهَبَ بَعْضُ عَقْلِهِ, and if he lost some of his mind, وَعُرِفَ قَدْرُ الذَّاهِبِ, and the amount of his mind was known, the amount of the lost mind is known. بِإِنْ صَارَ يُجَنُّ يَوْمًا وَيُفِيقُ يَوْمًا, such as that he began to be insane for a day and sane for a day. Like that, on and off. وَجَبَ فِيهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ, then obligatory on the assailant is half of the blood money. MashaAllah. وَتَجِبُ فِي الشَّفَتَيْنِ الدِّيَةِ, and obligatory for the two lips is blood money. لِأَنَّ فِيهِمَا جَمَالًا, because there is beauty in them. وَمَنْفَعَةً, and benefit in them, many, many benefits, including speaking and blowing and kissing and yani, other things. Sometimes might even use your lips like fingers, to, meaning to hold something. أما الجمال فظاهر. Now, as for the beauty, that part's obvious. وأما المنفعة. And as for the benefit, فلأنهما يقومان الكلام. That's clarified by the fact that the two lips make the speech come out right. وَيُمْسِكَانِ الطَّعَامِ, and they hold food into his mouth. وَالرِّيقِ, and the saliva. Subhanallah, yeah. Imagine he got his lips cut off, now he cannot even keep saliva in his mouth. Ya Kareem. قال الشافعي. الشافعي said, rahimahullah, may Allah accept from him, وحد الشفة ما زاد عن جلد الذقن والخدين من أعلى وأسفل. He said the definition or the limit of the lip is everything beyond the skin of the chin and the skin of the cheeks, from above and from below. MashaAllah. Subhanallah. I saw in the book Akhbar al-Adhkiya, Stories of the Smart People by Ibn al-Jawzi. There's a story in there about a mutilator. I don't remember the story though, but the one who was in charge of the town, he discovered that there was a mutilator in his midst. So he captures people and chops them up. Inshallah, I'll find that story. When he found out, he was saying, Ya Allah, there's someone who cuts up the people. Subhanallah, serial killer. As if. ولا فرق بين أن تكون غليظتين أو دقيقتين. And there's no difference between those lips being thick or thin. أو ناتئتين أو صغيرتين, or protruding, or small. لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم, because of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, وَفِي الشَّفَتَيْنِ الدِّيَةِ, for two lips there is blood money. وَلَمْ يُفَرِّقْ, and he didn't make any difference between the different kinds of lips. فَإِنْ قُطِعَ إِحْدَاهُمَا وَجَبَ, or فَإِنْ قَطَعَ إِحْدَاهُمَا وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ. And so, if somebody cut off one of those lips, then half of the blood money would be obligatory on him. وَإِنْ قَطَعَ بَعْضَ الشَّفَةِ وَجَبَ فِيهِ مِنَ الدِّيَةِ بِقَدْرِهِ. And if he cuts some of the lip, then obligatory on him of blood money is the amount that which he cut off is worth. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَيْهِمَا فَشَلَّتَا, and if he assaulted those lips and then they were paralyzed, بِأَنْ صَارَتَا مُسْتَرْخِيَتَيْن, by becoming limp. His lips are limp. لا تنقبضان, he cannot pucker his lips. His lips won't pucker. أو تقلصتا بحيث لا تنبسطان ولا تنطبق إحداهما على الأخرى. That's so interesting. وجبت الدية. So before I looked the word up, it looks like saying to me. So he just said if he paralyzed his lips and left his lips limp, and he's unable to pucker his lips. Or, so we're going to see the dictionary says, takallasata, the two lips had takallus, such that they cannot extend, nor can one of them be placed over the other. So it looks like saying shriveled or cramped up, came together. And so let me see. Qaf lam sod. Qaf lam sod. Qalasat shafatuh. Taqlisu. من باب ضرب. انزوت. وتقلصت مثله. Kulus min al-ibil. That's so interesting. Looks like saying he's rolled up. His lip rolled up. If his lip rolled up, let me see. I'm looking Mukhtar now. Qaf lam sad. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Qalas al-shay. Irtafa'a. To rise up. So it's like his lip rolled up. Qallasa wa taqallasa. Indamma wanzawa. Yani it folded. Or it did come together. So according to what's in here in Mukhtar, all those meanings there. And wrinkle, that's what it means there. It wrinkled, his lips wrinkled up. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I just saw it now in Mukhtar. Said that's what happens to the clothing after you wash the clothing. Subhanallah. He made his lips wrinkle. A'udhu billah. Subhanallah. So he says, وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَيْهِمَا, if he assaulted the lips, فَشَلَّتَا, and then they were paralyzed, بِأَنْصَارَةَ مُسْتَرْخِيَتَيْن, by becoming limp, لَا تَنْقَبِضَانِ, they won't pucker. تَنْقَبِضَانِ, يعني like, yeah, he can't bring his lips together. Like, as if to say, he can't make a fist out of his lips. The qabda is usually like a fist. How you ball your fist up. So it's saying he cannot make a fist out of his lips. Can't ball his lips up or bring his lips together. أو تخلصتا, or his lips wrinkled up, or perhaps folded up. بحيث لا تنبسطان, such that they don't stretch out. His lips cannot extend. ولا تنطبق إحداهما على الأخرى, and he's not able to put one of his lips over the other. وجبت الدية فيهما, then blood money is due for both of those. كما لو جنى على يديه فشلتا, just like if he assaulted the person's hands and they went paralyzed. قال الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى, Ash-Shafi'i, may Allah Ta'ala accept from him, said, وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَى شَفَتِهِ حَتَّى صَارَتْ بِحَيْثُ إِذَا مَدَّهَا امْتَدَّتْ وَإِذَا تَرَكَهَا تَقَلَّصَتْ فَفِيهَا حُكُومَةٌ. If someone assaulted another on his lip, such that it became that when he extends his lip, when he إذا مدها امتدت, I'm really not sure how to explain that right there. Because if I translate it the way it appears to me, it's saying, if he stretched his lips, it will stretch. يعني, I have an idea there, but let's ask. وَإِذَا تَرَكَهَا تَقَلَّصَتْ. Okay, I see. No, it's clear. He says, so if someone assaulted the other person on his lips, such that, so meaning now a person has been assaulted. Now his case is that if he stretches his lip, it will stretch, but If he stops stretching his lip, it will wrinkle or fold or ball up. فَفِيهَا حُكُومَةٌ. Then for that there is the price difference. لأنها إذا انبسطت وامتدت لأنها إذا انبسطت وامتدت إذا مدت فلا شلل فيها. Because if it can spread and stretch when it is made to stretch, then it's not paralyzed. بل فيها روح. Rather, there is still soul in it. That's so interesting. He said, there is still soul in this portion. Subhanallah. What does he mean by that? That needs explanation too. When we say something needs explanation, doesn't mean always has some elaborate explanation. Could be simple, but still. Because someone might think this means that portion of his body doesn't have any soul in it. It doesn't have to mean that. So what does that mean? Let's hear it, inshallah. فَلَمْ تَصِرْ شَلَّاء. So it didn't become paralyzed. وَإِنَّمَا فِيهَا نَقْص. Rather, it's now deficient, damaged. فَوَجَبَتْ فِيهَا الْحُكُومَةِ. And so obligatory for it is the price difference. قَالَ وَتَجِبُ فِي اللِّسَانِ دِيَةٌ. And obligatory for a tongue is complete blood money. فَإِن لَمْ يقطع اللسان ولكن جنى عليه فخرس. If one did not sever the other's tongue, however, he assaulted him and made him dumb. That means made him mute. Yani, he assaulted that person and so he went mute. وَذَهَبَ كَلَامُهُ. And his ability to speak went away. وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ الدِّيَةُ. Then obligatory on this assailant is complete blood money. لِأَنَّهُ أَذْهَبَ مَنْفَعَةَ اللِّسَانِ. Because he removed the benefit, the function of the tongue. فإن ذهب بعض كلامه وجب عليه من الدية بقدر ما ذهب من كلامه. If he lost some of his ability to speak, then obligatory on the assailant would be the proportionate amount of blood money. The proportionate percentage of blood money. قال الشافعي رحمه الله. الشافعي, may Allah have mercy upon him, said, في لسان الأخرس حكومة. For the tongue of someone who's already mute, then one pays the price difference. If you remember, price difference here means, supposing this one were a slave, how much was he worth before this assault? And how much would he be worth after that assault as a slave? He has to pay the price difference. Intaha, and quote, the quote of Ash-Shafi'i, لأن لسان الأخرس قد ذهبت منفعته. And this is because the mute's tongue has already lost its function. وإن جنى عليه فذهب ذوقه. And if he assaulted one and made him lose his ability to taste, قال الشيخ أبو حامد, Sheikh Abu Hamid said, يجب فيه الدية. Complete blood money is due for that. لأنه أحد الحواس التي تختص بمنفعة. Because that's one of the senses that has a particular function. فهو كحاسة السمع والبصر. And it is therefore like the sense of hearing and sight. ويجب في السن خمس من الإبل. And obligatory for a tooth is 5 camels. ولا فرق بين الثنايا والأضراس. وَالرَّبَاعِيَّاتِ. And there's no difference between the incisors and the molars and the other ones. Now their names escaping me. لقوله عليه الصلاة والسلام, because of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, في كل سن خمس من الإبل. For any tooth is 5 camels. ولم يفرق. And he did not make a difference here between the different types of teeth. عليه الصلاة والسلام. والسن الذي يجب فيه خمس من الإبل. And the tooth for which 5 camels are due, هو ما ظهر من اللثة. That's a tooth that has emerged from the gum. وهو اللحم الذي ينبت فيه السن. And the gum is the flesh in which the teeth grows. لأن المنفعة والجمال في ذلك, because the functionality and the beauty is there. وَإِنْ كَسَرَ بَعْضَ سِنِّهِ. And if the assailant broke some of his tooth, yani he chipped his tooth or broke his tooth, من نصف أو ثلث أو ربع وجب عليه من ديتها بقدر ما كسر منها. Then obligatory on the assailant from the blood money is the proportionate percentage. وَإِنْ قَلَعَ رَجُلٌ جَمِيعَ أَسْنَانِ رَجُلٍ. And had some man pulled out all of another's teeth. Subhanallah. فَإِنْ قَلَعَهَا وَاحِدَةً بَعْدَ وَاحِدَةٍ. Then there's details. If he pulled them out one by one, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ لِكُلِّ سِنٍ خَمْسٌ مِنَ الْإِبِلِ. Then for each tooth, 5 camels are due. فَيَجِبُ عَلَيْهِ مِئَةٌ وَسِتُّونَ بَعِيرًا. And therefore he would owe 160 camels. لأن الأسنان اثنان وثلاثون سنة. Because there are 32 teeth. So what's 32 times 5? 160. Subhanallah. That's a proof that there's a creator. Each one comes out with 32 teeth arranged. You don't find arrangements randomly. Arrangement does not exist randomly. ويجب في اللحيين وهما العظمان اللذان ينبت عليهما الأسنان الدية. And obligatory for the jaws. And those are the bones upon which the teeth grow. Obligatory for the jaws is complete blood money. لأن فيها منفعة وجمالا. Because the jaws have functionality and beauty. وفي أحدهما نصف الدية. And for one of the 2 jaws is half of the blood money. Subhanallah. وفي اليدين الدية. And for both hands is full blood money. وفي إحداهما نصف الدية. And for one of them is half of the blood money. واليد التي تجب فيها الدية هي من مفصل الكوع. And the hand for which there is blood money due is the one from the wrist, from the joint of the wrist. فإن قطعها من بعض الساعد أو من المرفق أو من المنكب وجبت الدية في الكف وفيما زاد عليه الحكومة. However, if one severed the hand from the forearm or from the elbow, or from the shoulder, then the blood money is due for the hand itself, and anything more, and for anything more, he has to pay the price difference. وَإِن جَنَى عَلَى الْكَفِّ, and if one attacked another's hand, فَشَلَّتْ, and then it went, and then it was paralyzed, وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ دِيَتُهَا, then its blood money is due. لِأَنَّهُ قَدْ أَذْهَبَ مَنْفَعَتَهَا, because he has rendered it dysfunctional. فَهُوَ كَمَا لَوْ قَطَعَهَا, and therefore it would be as if he cut it off. وَيَجِبُ فِي كُلِّ إِصْبَعٍ مِّنْ أَصَابِعِ الْيَدَيْنِ عَشْرٌ مِّنَ الْإِبِلِ, and obligatory for every finger, every hand digit, every one of the digits of the two hands. Obligatory for each one of the digits of the hands is 10 camels. What's 10 times 10? 100. وَلَا يُفَضَّلُ إِصْبَعٌ عَلَى إِصْبَعٍ, and no finger has more value than another. In this regard, وَيَجِبُ فِي كُلِّ أَنْمُلَةٍ مِنَ الْأَصَابِعِ ثُلُثُ دِيَةِ الْإِصْبَعِ, and obligatory for each phalange or phalange. I don't know how to say it right. Phalange, I'm going to say phalange. Maybe that's the right word. And obligatory for each phalange, that's the segments of the fingers, is a third of the blood money of a finger. The third of the blood money of a finger. إِلَّا الْإِبْهَامِ, except the thumb. فَإِنَّهُ يَجِبُ فِي كُلِّ أُنْمُلَةٍ مِنْهَا نِصْفُ دِيَةِ الْإِصْبَعِ. For the thumb, then for the phalange of a thumb is half of the blood money of a finger. So they say thumb has 2 phalanges. All the other fingers have 3, and the thumb has 2. So what does it say here? For any finger other than the thumb, for the phalange of any finger other than the thumb is a third of a finger's blood money. But for a thumb is a half of a finger's blood money because only has 2 phalanges. Subhanallah. Islamic law is fair. And it is just, not unjust. Kuffar are unjust. وَالْكَافِرُونَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. The kafirs, they are the unjust ones. وَإِن جَنَى عَلَى إِصْبَعٍ فَشَلَّتْ, and if one attacked a finger that therefore went paralyzed, أو على أنملة فشلت, or he attacked a phalange that went paralyzed as a result, وجب عليه ديتها, then its blood money is due on him, لأنه أذهب منفعتها, because he rendered it dysfunctional, كما لو قطعها, as if he severed it. وتجب في الرجلين الدية, and for both feet is complete blood money. وفي إحداهما نصف الدية, and for one foot is half of the blood money. والرجل التي تجب بقطعها الدية هي القدم, and the foot for which blood money is due for severing it is, maybe I need to adjust my translation here. So rijl can mean leg or foot. And also, backing up a little bit, وَفِي الْيَدَيْنِ, here, yad can mean hand or arm. Hand or arm is the meaning of yad. And then he clarifies for the yad. He says the yet for which blood money is due is from the wrist, from the joint of the wrist. Then he says, an obligatory for my first translation was the 2 feet, al-rijlain, is the blood money. And then he says, and the feet for which the blood money is due, the foot for which the blood money is due is the qadam, yani, which means foot. As far as I know, qadam is foot. I don't know that qadam means leg also. So the foot, as if he means from the ankle. But it doesn't say here from the ankle. فَإِنْ قَطَعَهَا مِنْ نِصْفِ السَّاقِ. But if he cuts it from half of the shin, أو من الركبة, or from the knee, أو من الورك, or from the buttock cheek. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Severed his whole leg there. وجب الدية. وجب الدية في القدم. Then the blood money would be due for the foot. والحكومة فيما زاد. And the price difference will be obligatory for anything more. ويجب في كل إصبع منها وفي كل أنملة منها ما يجب في أصابع اليد وأناملها. And obligatory for any toe, any digit of the foot, which is called toe. And also for any of the phalanges of the toe. How many phalanges the toe has? 1, 2. Well, unless I don't know how to count it right. Looks like it has 2. He says, and obligatory for any phalange of the toe is what is obligatory for the phalanges of the obligatory for each toe and for each phalange of the toe is what is obligatory for each hand and the phalanges of the hand. For the fingers of the hand is obligatory. Let me say again. Obligatory for each ويجب في كل إصبع منها, and obligatory for each toe of the foot. وفي كل أنملة منها, and for each phalange of the toes. ما يجب في أصابع اليد it is the same thing as what is obligatory for the fingers of the hand. وأناملها, and its phalanges. قال الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى. الشافعي, may Allah have mercy on him, said, وفي يد العاسم ورجل العارج إذا كانتا سالمتين الدية. والعسم هو يبس مفصل الرسغ حتى تعوج الكف والقدم. وقال الشيخ أبو حامد الأعسم هو الذي يكون بطشه بيساره أكثر ولا تفضل يمين على يسار في الدية. Okay. And obligatory for the hand of the asam, asam, and the foot of the araj, if they were both sound, is full blood money. So, obligatory for the hand with a dysfunctional, a non-functional wrist, a hand with a non-functional wrist, and for a crooked foot. I want to look these up actually. I'm going to look in Al-Misbah, Al-Munir, Look up the asam first. عين سين ميم عسم الكاف والقدم عسما عسيمة من باب تعب يبس مفصل الرسغ حتى تعوج الكاف والقدم. Okay. So according to Al-Misbah al-Munir, says like the Sheikh says here. So for the hand of someone with a non-functional wrist and the foot of the A'raj, let me look up A'raj too. The A'raj opened right up to Ain, alhamdulillah. عرج في مشيه عرجا من باب تعب إذا كان من علة لازمة فهو أعرج والأنثى عرجاء فإن كان من علة غير لازمة بل من شيء أصابه حتى غمز في مشيه قيل عرج يعرج من باب قتل فهو عارج. Okay, let me. So, okay, his hand is crooked. I see. So, وفي يد العاصم, or the hand of someone basically with a non-functioning wrist, and therefore his hand is twisted, and his hand is twisted. And for the foot of someone with a twisted foot, I think they call that a club foot. No, let me look up also Araj. The images of the Araj. They don't have very clear images here about it. Okay, so وفي يد العاصم والرجل الأعرج إذا كانتا سالمتين دية. So for the hand of the one with the non-functional wrist, such that his hand is twisted, yani not straight, his hand is crooked, twisted. If anyone is able to look in Hans Wehr while we're up here, then that might be helpful, but if not, it's okay. And the one with the crooked foot, or maybe club foot, when this hand or this foot itself is sound, so it says, وَالْعَسَمُ هُوَ يُبْسُ مَفْصِلِ الرُّسُغ. The asam, it's the non-functional wrist, so that the hand is twisted, crooked, not straight. And likewise, the foot. But Sheikh Abu Hamid has a different definition. He says the asam is the left-handed one, the one who uses his left hand mostly. وَلَا تُفَضَّلُ يَمِينٌ عَلَى يَسَارٍ فِي الدِّيَةِ. When it comes to blood money, the right hand is not given priority over the left hand. فَإِنْ كَسَرَ يَدَهُ فَجُبِرَتْ فَانْجَبَرَتْ فَإِنْ عَادَتْ مُسْتَقِيمَةً مِنْ غَيْرِ شَيْءٍ فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْهِ شَيْءٍ. Oh, look at that. Allahu Akbar. Nice. If someone broke another's hand, and then that hand was put into a cast, for example, jubilat, and then it healed, and became straight again, yani became normal again, without any deformity, then there's nothing obligatory on the assailant. He broke his hand and nothing is obligatory on him when his hand healed and came back normal again. Why that's so interesting to me now, because just maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, A brother called me asking me what he can do to punish some authorities who were unjust to him, but they didn't even hurt him physically. And maybe he claims they were committing racism against him. Or I don't know what they were doing to him. So what's he going to try to do to get some money and punish these people, fine them, or whatever else he can do? Let the Muslims leave this injustice alone. If you cannot find a way to get justice religiously, then wait for resurrection day. That's better. Don't say, we can't get the justice religiously now. Let's take advantage of the kafir system and punish someone another way. And let's punish him in an unjust way, because we can't punish him any other way, because we're going to punish him. Don't do that. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Kun Abdullahi al-mazlum, wa la takun Abdullahi al-zalim." Be the mistreated slave of Allah, be the wronged slave of Allah, and do not be the unjust slave of Allah, the mistreating, the wronging slave of Allah. فَإِنْ عَادَتْ مُسْتَقِيمَةً مَعَ شَيْءٍ, but if it came back straight, but with a deformity, if it came back, but with a deformity, وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ حُكُومَةٌ لِلشَّيْءٍ, then obligatory on the assailant would be the price difference that's due to the deformity. وَإِنْ عَادَتْ غَيْرَ مُسْتَقِيمَةٍ وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ الْحُكُومَةُ أَكْثَرَ مِمَّا لَوْ عَادَتْ مُسْتَقِيمَةً. And if it came back not straight though, it's healed crookedly, let's say, then obligatory on the assailant is also the price difference, but more than had it healed back straight. لأنه أحدث بها نقصا, because he caused it to have a deficiency. وتجب في الأليتين دية, and obligatory for the two buttocks, cheeks, is full blood money. So, we talk about someone who's mutilating people here, because how are you going to lose the cheek of the buttock? لأن فيهما جمالا ومنفعة, because in these cheeks there is beauty and there is functionality, benefit, because you sit upon them, and there's maybe some other things. ويجب في إحداهما من الدية بقدر في إحداهما نصف الدية, and obligatory for one of them is half of the blood money. وإن قطع بعض إحداهما, and if he severed a piece of one of those cheeks, وعرف قدر المقطوع, and the amount of what was severed is known, is quantifiable, وجب فيه من الدية بقدره, then obligatory on the assailant, on the mutilator, is the proportionate blood money. وإن لم يعرف, and if the amount is not known, جرحها, or he just merely wounded this buttock cheek, or perhaps gashed, put a gash into it, وجبت عليه الحكومة, then obligatory upon him is the price difference. لأن الجرح إذا اندمل وجبت فيه الحكومة دون الدية, because when a wound scabs over, then obligatory for it is the price difference, not the blood money. وإن كسر صلبه فأذهب مشيه وجبت فيه الدية, And if he broke someone's spine and disabled his ability to walk, then complete blood money is due. وَإِن لَمْ يَذْهَبِ الْمَشْيُ. But if he did not take away his ability to walk, وَإِنَّمَا يَحْتَاجُ فِي مَشْيِهِ إِلَى عُكَّازٍ. But merely what he needs to be able to walk is a crutch. وَجَبَ فِيهِ حُكُومَةٌ. Then obligatory on him would be the price difference. وَإِن لَمْ يَحْتَجْ إِلَى عُكَازٍ. And if he does not need a crutch to walk, وَلَكِنَّهُ يَمْشِي مَشْيًا ضَعِيفًا. However, he walks weakly, meekly. وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ حُكُومَةٌ. Then price difference is obligatory on the assailant. حُكُومَةٌ أَقَلُّ مِنْ حُكُومَةِ الْأُولَى. But less than the first price difference. وَإِنْ عَادَ مَشْيُهُ كَمَا كَانَ. But if he became able to walk as he was, إِلَّا أَنَّ ظَهْرَهُ احْتَبَّ لَزِمَتْهُ حُكُومَةٌ. And if his ability to walk came back, however, he became hunchback, he became hunchback, or he became a hunchback, then obligatory on the assailant is the blood money, لِلشَّيْنِ الْحَاصِلِ بِذَلِكَ, because of the deformity that happened because of that. وَإِنْ كَسَرَ صُلْبَهُ فَذَهَبَ جِمَاعُهُ. And if he broke someone's back and rendered that person, and therefore that person's libido went away, he no longer became able to have intercourse. وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ دِيَةٌ. Then obligatory on this assailant is full blood money. وَإِنْ كَسَرَ صُلْبَهُ فَذَهَبَ مَاؤُهُ. And if he broke his back and therefore his semen went away, he no longer could produce semen. وَبَعُدَ وَجَبَتْ عَلَيْهِ الدِّيَةُ. Or, it became not coming out. He became unable to produce semen, or it baruda, went far. That literally means it went far. So the semen of the man comes from his spine. So what we learned is when the man is with his wife, then when he ejaculates, the semen slides from his spine. Actually, it's coming from his spine, not from his testicles, but his testicles have something to do with it. And then that gets deposited into the womb of the woman. And we learned also in fiqh that it's possible that a person would get a hole in his back and then semen would leak from his back. And even sometimes he might have to take a ghusl depending on how low that hole is. With other details too. So the sheikh is saying if he broke someone's back and then this one became unable to produce semen, wabaruda, and his semen went far, like as if to say basically it just won't come out, then full blood money is due on the assailant. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَى عُنُقِهِ فَأَصَابَهُ صَعَرٌ وَهُوَ التَّوَاء لَا يُمَكِّنُهُ أَنْ يُحَوِّلَ وَجْهَهُ لَزِمَتْهُ الْحُكُومَةِ. And if he assaulted someone's neck and he became unable to turn his neck, so whatever that's called, the sa'ar, he became unable to turn his head, to turn his face into different directions, then the price difference is due on the assailant. وفي الذكر الدية. And for a penis is a full blood money. وسواء قطع ذكر صبي أو شيخ أو شاب. Whether he severed the penis of a child or an old person or a young person, a young adult. وإن جنى عليه فصار أشل. And if he attacked this part and it became paralyzed, إما منبسطا لا ينقبض أو منقبضا لا ينبسط وجبت عليه الدية. And then it went limp. So, yani, that's clear. It went limp, so means it will not become erect. It just, it just dangles only. Or it protracted. It protracted, like came in, went inside, and it won't come out. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Imma munbasitan. So either it is flaccid, limp, la yanqabid, and will not be firm. Oh, munqabidan, or it went inside, whatever was that word I said. La yanbasit, and will not it won't relax, it won't come out. Wajabat alayhi diya. Then obligatory on the assailant is the full blood money. وَالذَّكَرُ الَّذِي تَجِبُ فِيهِ الدِّيَةِ. And the penis for which full blood money is due, huwa al-hashafatu. It is the mere glans penis, which is the head. لأن منفعة الذكر تذهب بذهابها. Because the functionality of the penis will go away by the head going away. ويجب في الأنثيين دية. And obligatory for both testicles is full blood money. ويجب في كل واحدة منهما نصف الدية. And obligatory for one of them, either one of them, is half of the blood money. وإن قطع الذكر والأنثيين معا. And if he cut off someone's penis and testicles, أو قطع الذكر ثم الأنثيين, يعني if he cut off one's penis and testicles at the same time, أو قطع الذكر ثم الأنثيين, or he cut off the penis first and then cut off the testicles, وجبت عليه ديتان بلا خلاف. Then two blood monies are due with no difference in opinion. وقد ذكرنا أن دية نفس المرأة على النصف من دية الرجل. We have mentioned that the blood money for a woman's life is half of the blood money of a man. وأما ما دون النفس, but concerning less than life, يعني not actually killing, فذهب الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى في الجديد إلى أن أرشها نصف أرش الرجل في جميع الجراحات والأعضاء. وبه قال علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه وأبو حنيفة وأصحابه. I don't know how to explain that. وتجب في ثديي المرأة الدية. And obligatory for both breasts of a woman is full standard blood money. 1 second, please. لأن فيها جمالا ومنفعة. Because in that there is beauty and functionality. because she can breastfeed by it. ويجب في أحدهما نصف الدية. And obligatory for one breast is half of the blood money. والثديان اللذان تجب فيهما الدية هما الحلمتان. The two breasts that for which the two breasts for which blood money is due, they are the nipples. وهما رأس الثدي. Those two, this word al-halamatan, this refers to the nipple. He says in Arabic, the head of the breast, or perhaps tip of the breast. اللتان يلتقمهما الصبي. Those two that are suckled by the baby. لأن الجمال والمنفعة توجد فيهما. Because there is beauty and functionality in merely that much of the breast. So saying that's going to be counted that he cut off her whole breast. Just if someone just removed the nipple. As for man's nipples, what's their? Do they have function? They don't have function. They only have jamal, beauty. So for the woman, what's the nipple for? The nipple for woman is it has jamal and manfa'ah, has beauty and function. For man, only has jamal, beauty. قال الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى, said الشافعي, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him. وإن قطع ثديها فأجافها فعليه نصف الدية للثدي وثلث دية للجائفة. وإن قطع ثدييها وأجافهما فعليه في الثديين كمال الدية وفي الجائفتين ثلث الدية. Okay. So, as Shafi'i said, if someone were to sever a woman's breasts, both of them, one of them, sorry, ثديها, one of them, فأجافها, and then stab it, فعليه نصف الدية, then obligatory on him is half of the blood money, للثدي, that's due for the breast. وثلث دية للجائفة, and a third of the blood money on top of that, a third of blood money for the stab. وإن قطع ثدييها, and if he severed both breasts, وأجافهما, and then stabbed both of them, فعليه في الثديين كمال الدية, then obligatory on that assailant would be a complete blood money for the two breasts. وفي الجائفتين ثلث الدية, and for the two stabs, 2/3 of blood money. لأن كل واحد منهما فيه دية مقدرة إذا انفرد فإذا اجتمعا وجب في كل واحد منهما ديته. In simple terms here, rare case where I can translate it with easier words than says in the Arabic. That's by simply adding all the math. كما لو قطع أذنه فذهب سمعه. Just like if he cut off his ear and made his hearing go away, you're going to add it up. Making his hearing go away has a price. Cutting off his ear has a price. Intaha, end quote. وَإِنْ جَنَى عَلَيْهِمَا فَشَلَّا. Now, if one assaulted those breasts and then they were paralyzed, wajabat fihi madiyah, then for both of them, full standard blood money is due. Wa illam yashallah, and if they were not paralyzed, walakin istarkhaya, but they went limp, they sagged because of the assault. Wa kana nahidain, and but before that they were perky. A murtafi'ain, meaning they were raised. Wajabat fihi al-hukumah, then for this, one would have to pay the price difference. The price difference, remember, means if she were a slave, how much would she have been worth before the assault and before the damage? And then after the assault and the resulting damage, how much would she then be worth? Then this assailant has to pay that price difference. Al-hukuma. We're going to call that the price difference. Lest we find something better. لِأَنَّهُ نَقَصَ جَمَالُهُمَا, because the beauty of them was decreased. Their beauty was decreased. وَإِنْ كَانَ لَهُمَا لَبَنٌ فَجَنَى عَلَيْهِمَا فَانْقَطَعَ لَبَنُهَا فانقطع لبنهما فانقطع وإن كان لهما لبن, and if those two breasts had milk, فجنى عليهما, and then some assailant assaulted them, فانقطع لبنهما, and then their milk was cut off, أو نقص, or was decreased, وجبت عليه الحكومة, then the price difference is due. لأنه نقص منفعتهما, because he has decreased their functionality. وإن قطع حلمتي الرجل, now if one were to sever a man's nipples, فقد قال الشافعي, الشافعي said, rahimahullah ta'ala, may God be exalted, have mercy on him, في موضع فيهما الحكومة, في موضع, الشافعي said in one spot amongst other spots, الشافعي said, فيهما الحكومة, there's price difference paid for these two male nipples. قال الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى, said الشافعي, may Allah ta'ala have mercy upon him, وفي إسكتيها وهما شفراها جانبا فرجها إذا أوعبتا ديتها. SubhanAllah. Ash-Shafi'i says, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy on him, for her labia minora, which are the two lips on the sides of her vagina. If they were completely severed by some mutilator, there is full blood money into her. فالإسكتان هما اللحمان المحيطان بالفرج. He says, the Sheikh says, he's explaining, the iskatan, this word Shafi'i used, the two, iska, so singular is going to be iska. So that's labia minora, one. That's singular. So the Shaykh saying these two things, al-iskatan, they are the two pieces of flesh that surround the vagina. كَإِحَاطَةِ شَفَتَيْنِ بِالْفَمِ, just like the lips surround the mouth. وَإِنْ قَطَعَ أَحَدَهُمَا, and if someone were to sever only one of them, وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ نِصْفُ الدِّيَةِ, then obligatory on him is half of the blood money. ولا فرق بين شفري الصغيرة والعجوز والبكر والثيب, and there is no difference between the labia minora of a girl or an elderly woman or a virgin or a deflowered woman. وسواء كانا صغيرين أو كبيرين, and equally, and it's the same. It doesn't matter also whether they were small or big. رقيقين أو غليظين, thin or thick. وإن جنى على شفريها فشل وجبت عليه الدية. And if one assaulted these labia minora, it means both here. So I don't know how you say one or two of these words here. Labia minora. Say minoras. I'm not sure. So if one assaulted these lips and then they were paralyzed, then obligatory for them is blood money, full standard blood money. And there's a reason why I keep saying standard, because it is permissible to do a settlement. Once the blood money is due, there's a standard by the religion that's due. But it's permissible to do a settlement and agree to something else. قال الشافعي رحمه الله, Shafi'i, may Allah have mercy upon him, said, وَإِنْ أَفْضَاهَا ثَيِّبًا كَانَ وَإِنْ أَفْضَاهَا ثَيِّبًا كَانَ عَلَيْهِ دِيَتُهَا. I don't know how to explain that. قال الشيخ أبو حامد, Sheikh Abu Hamid said, والإفضاء هو أن يجعل مسلك البول ومسلك الذكر واحدا. It explains right there. So that proves to you what? Proves to you that I didn't review ahead of time, or else I would have known. But to be honest with you, this is why I really appreciate these sessions here, because it's a chance for me to review something that I otherwise wouldn't review. Ash-Shafi'i said, if he, okay, I see. So it's translated approximately. It's like a Shafi'i saying, if he slits her, like cut her, so that she is deflowered, but this doesn't mean she was not already deflowered. So there's a meaning there. If he slit her, so maybe I could just say, if he slits her, then there's a full blood money. So what does this mean? Abu Hamid said, al-ifda here that Ash-Shafi'i is talking about, it is for someone to make the pathway of the urine and the entrance for the penis one. So that's clear. But let me say some clear words here. So you know how some scholars say as-sabilan, the two pathways. So what do they mean? They mean, and you might think they mean the private parts, front private part, back private part. So that's probably what you understood from it. The two pathways. As-sabilan, like what's in Mukhtasar, and what's in Abu Shuja'. But some scholars, they prefer not to say asabilan, the two pathways. They say because really there's three pathways. Three, not two, three. For males and females. Three for males and females, not two. It's just that the two front pathways of a male are blocked, yani covered, concealed, while the two pathways of the woman are not. So what's the two pathways of the woman? Well, both of them have two pathways. What are those two pathways for the front, male or female? Pathway for the urine, pathway for the semen. So the woman's case is different from the man's case in terms of the anatomy there. So that she has two pathways apparent. Man does not have two apparent pathways. One is for the urine, like we just mentioned. One is for where the penis enters. Also, is the same place from where the mani comes, where the mani exits. So, yani, as Shafi'i said, if someone were to slit a woman to make her deflowered, so that's my attempt to translate his words here. But now you understand what he means. Then there's a full blood money. وأما الشعور فلا يجب فيها قصاص ولا دية. Now, as for hairs, there is not obligatory for it retaliation nor blood money. وبه قال أبو بكر الصديق. That's the position taken by Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. وزيد بن ثابت رضي الله عنهما, and Zayd ibn Thabit. May Allah accept from both of them. Zayd had madhab. Any mujtahid technically has a madhab. But when I say Zayd had a madhab, means he had people who followed his madhab. That's what I mean. Even some Sahaba had madhabs with followers. Also, Ibn Abbas. May Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him. So, yeah, real quick though. For hair, there's no retaliation, there's no blood money. Sometimes a person feels that he has to be able to get back at someone for something. Rather, if a person doesn't fear Allah, he's going to say, I'm going to get back at someone. Don't care. Khalas' decision already made. So if one fears Allah, he can't be like that. What did the Prophet say, alayhi salatu wassalam? Kun abdallahi al-mazloom, wa la takun abdallahi al-zalim. Be the mistreated slave of Allah, and don't be the mistreating slave of Allah. Don't be the unjust slave of Allah, the violating slave of Allah. وَفِي التَّرُقُوَةِ جَمَلٌ وَفِي الضِّلَعِ جَمَلٌ. Ash-Shafi'i said, for the collarbone, there's a camel. And for a rib, there's a camel. وَقَالَ فِي مَوْضِعٍ. And Ash-Shafi'i said in one spot amongst others, تَجِبُ فِي كُلِّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا حُكُومَةٌ. Another saying, which is that for a collarbone or a rib, there's a price difference. Not a camel, price difference. وَالتَّرْقُوَةُ هِيَ الْعَظْمُ الْمُدَوَّرُ مِنَ النَّحْرِ إِلَى الْكَتِفِ. The collarbone is the round bone, or perhaps curved bone, around the, what do you call that? The pit of the neck? And nahr, that soft spot there. From there to the shoulder. That's a collarbone. Walil insani tarkuwatan. A human being has two collarbones. Just look at that bone right there. This is a proof that there's a creator. Look at that curved bone right there. Subhanallah wa bihamd. Placed right where it needs to be placed. And the whole skeleton. And then all those organs packed. So someone saw a car. He's going to open the hood and he looks under the hood. What's there? Engine and transmission and this thing and that thing and tubes and all of that, all packed and measured and then fitted with nice shell. So it looks nice on the outside. So if you saw the car, you'd say someone made this. So if you saw the human, you should say someone made this. فإذا جنى على رجل جناية لم يحصل بها جرح ولا كسر. Now, if someone assaulted a man in a way that there was no wound, nor any break, ولا إتلاف حاثة, nor any loss of sense, بأن لطمه الجاني, like for the assailant to smack him, open hand smack, أو لكمه, or punch him, أو ضربه بخشبة, or to beat him with a piece of wood, with a stick. فلم يجرح, but without any wound. ولم يكسر, and without anything breaking. نظرت, then you look. So yani he beat him up. فإن لم يحصل به أثر, if he didn't leave any trace on it. أو حصل به سواد, or he gave him some blacks, yani, or what someone might call blue, black and blue. أو خضرة, or greenness. ثم زال, and then that went away. لم يجد على الجاني أرش لأنه لم ينقص شيئا من جماله ولا من منفعته. The assailant, no arsh is obligatory on the assailant. I'm not sure how to translate arsh yet. I forgot. Because he did not decrease any of this person's beauty, nor any of his functionality, or any of his functions, or any of his body functions. وَيُعَذَّرُ الْجَانِي لِتَعَدِّيهِ, rather, the assailant will be punished by the imam's discretion for his transgression. Yani, that's called ta'zir. Ta'zir. That's punishment under the imam's discretion, like beating someone, or shouting at him, or imprisoning him, or some other things. I don't know if taking his money is one of them. I never heard about fining him. None, and never in any lesson did I hear that the caliph or the judge or the like can take his money as a punishment. So if there's something like that, let someone teach me. As opposed to what the kuffar will do, they're just going to find you. You're just going to receive the notice in the mail telling you it's time for you to pay. وإن اسود موضع الضرب أو اخضر أو احمر. Now, if the place of the beating blackened or greened or reddened, ينظر, then the case is investigated. ينظر إلى الوقت الذي يزول مثل ذلك في العادة. then you look into the time that the likes of that usually vanishes. فإن لم يزل, and if it didn't vanish, وجبت على الجاني الحكومة, then the price difference will be obligatory on the assailant. لأن في ذلك شينا, because that's a deformity. There is deformity in that. فإن أخذت منه الحكومة ثم زال ذلك الشين. Now, if this price difference were taken from him and then that deformality vanished, وجب رد الحكومة, it will be obligatory to give him his money back. كما لو كان ابيضت عينه فأخذ أرشها ثم زال البياض. Just like if one's eye went white from someone's assault, and then money was taken, but then the whiteness went away. So then that money has to be given back. Okay, let's stop here. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.